Hello, 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 hello. This is the part 2 of the, I assume part 3, three-parter of the videos I'm going to be uploading as the continuation of my PTN event playthrough, because I can't really do streams at the moment, so I'm just basically recording as I go. This is recorded about 2 hours after the initial recording. And I am going to be posting this somewhere during the next week, basically, before we continue with everything else week after. This is the part 3, delay. I heard there's 4 parts, so we're going to be going through part 3 right now. Taken me about an hour or so to deal with the parts, so I imagine it will take me about the same. West District Operation 1. There is also combat involved here. I'm getting lots of hypercubes from this. At behest of Paradisus, Shalom marshals the resources at her disposal and commences her battle plan. The assassination attempt of the Vice Commander-in-Chief has shaken the entire city-state. The AVC Public Security Bureau, 9th Agency, and Paradisus Hush Unit are conducting a joint investigation with astonishing efficiency. The goal is to eliminate all obstacles before the Black Ring blockade operation begins in August. Under the coordination of Paradisus Special Envoy Hush X, the joint investigation team is closely tracking all suspicious individuals during an intelligence blockade. A list of suspects has been quickly identified, plus more enemies has exposed themselves in the intense attack against X. The operation is being carried out discreetly and swiftly. Most of the culprits are intelligence agents who have been bought out or implemented by the enemy. Through them, we've obtained further information about their handlers and captured many underground members. The threat is gradually being eliminated, and the official Black Ring blockade operation can be launched soon. The West District shall never be abandoned. We cannot repeat the same mistakes. 2:23 p.m., August 17th, Nightfall 113. FEC Black Ring Blockade Operation Joint Command. The preparation for battle is going smoothly. The important thing now is intelligence security. If the plan of the Anti-Mania Blockade Network's core base gets leaked, the underground will definitely strike without mercy. Your decoy strategy has been very effective. They are in a very vulnerable position right now.
了解です。ハッシュシステムの情報が漏洩した以上、指定をおびき寄せるには、私が一番のおとりになるでしょう。
Understood. Since the hush system has already been compromised, my presence is the best bait for in the underground. On top of that, we need you to ensure your own safety. Though the substitute is about to take over, our strategy must remain consistent after the battle starts. At this stage, your observations are indispensable. Do not allow any disruptions, or else our whole battle plan will be at risk.
かしこまりました。戦闘が終わり、代わりが来るまで生き延びることを約束します。あなたたち以外にラーフもついていますので大丈夫です。
Understood. I will hold out safely until the end of the battle and complete the handover. Plus, beside you, I have Rahu protecting me. There won't be any problems. Cheryl spins around, scanning the black clad guards nearby. She hears the conversation clearly, but shows no expression. That AVC has repeatedly overstepped our orders to her. Her behaviors in the recent kidnapping incident is an outrageous example. Did something happen to the mark you gave her, or was there a problem with the initial instructions? She obviously overemphasizes her role as a guard, which compromises her obedience as a result. In her loyalty test, she even submitted the so-called action statement, claiming that if there were obstacles for specific missions, there is a chance that she might disobey orders and warned us to be careful in using her. With this attitude, Shalom can't help but chuckle, unintentionally interrupting Cheryl.
自分の取扱説明書を真剣に作っているのでしょう。ラフらしいです。自ら説明書を提供できる道具の方が信頼に値する。
I think that she's seriously creating her own user manual. That's exactly something Rahu would do. A tool that can actively provide a detailed instruction manual is more trustworthy, don't you think? Indeed. Someone specifically requested her. The threat from the underground is growing day by day. The crisis that Hush faces will eventually fall on more people. There is a big shortage of capable guards. Do you agree with these statements? Salom nods with a grin.
彼女は頼もしくて使いやすい道具です。私がいなくなった後、多くの人が彼女を求める。
She's very reliable and handy. After I leave,
その時には彼女に一番適している仕事を。
there will be many people who want her, so please help choose the most suitable position for her. Charles slowly opens its dark body as it stares at her, revealing the light blue core that once destroyed AVC heavy armored vehicle in one hit, and quietly scans the sinner before it. And value fluctuations safe, emotion fluctuations safe, psychological indicator stable, mental activity level high, result Hush is stable. Shalom doesn't look up. She flips through the report in her hand with a smile and sips on warm water as she lets Charles scan her inside out. This is probably a level 3 scan. Teasing Charles is pretty boring, but unfortunately she can't tease anyone else now. As Charles closes up again, Shalom shuts her eyes, the channel is open, and the orders have arrived. 03. The FEC operation plan has finally been approved, but the costs are still too high. Various forces in the city-state are disgruntled with this West District operation, and it will cost a lot to appease them. 03. Paradisus has supported them to achieve more important goals. All of them must be achieved. Thus, Hush X observation and strategy are necessary. The requirements are as follows. Provide a plan to weed out the infernal spies, catch as many hierarchy and underground members as possible, and find the real entrance to the underground. 2. Ensure the information of the defense belt and closely monitor the defense network. If the underground shepherd tries to break through, immediately lock their position and go for the kill at all costs. That will be the ultimate victory for humanity. 3. Ensure that BR-002 is completely controlled and find a way to suppress it. The first goal is to strike the underground. The second goal is to stimulate the city-of-state economy. If the largest black ring in the West District can become a new hypercube mine, Nirvana will have fewer complaints. 03. You've completed requirement 1 and 2. For requirements 3, there is an add-on requirement. You need to return to Observatorium and confirm the direction in the mania level. 04. The situation is too chaotic. Too much risk and turbulence plagues West District. We should have directly used the purge order as planned in March. Let's Ship 13 swallow BR-002 corpus, then pacify board threats in one go with our rules. 04. We invested so much, yet ended up with a black ring that we can't control at all. West District is still in chaos, and every step we've taken is precarious. The change of plan was too radical. And X, she has validated 02. She has validated the accuracy of the Hush system, achieving mass mental observation and induction. She even accomplished our most important goal that we haven't been able to achieve for years, luring out the underground shepherd. 02. Corpus 02 has taken out on a fixed form as a black ring. Once the defense network is established, all we need to do is prepare and wait. Humanity will have the upper hand. It will definitely try to come and swallow its prey, revealing its whereabouts in process. As long as they eliminate this ultimate threat, everything will return to normal. 02. Each of you here has agreed to let her carry out the mission, regardless of the costs, out of your own rational judgments. Others... 03. Agreed. If we need to change the plan, we can initiate a revision agenda. Pointless regret only corrodes rationality. 03. This master plan's only setback is our failure to successfully recover Shepherd 13 as planned, and having him fall into the hands of a numb faction. We're still in the execution phase of the plan, so X can continue to handle it. Excellent. X, we'll leave it to you. That's O2 saying. O2. The Research Institute will synchronize all the data you observe. You also need to submit your plan for approval before it can be implemented. Shore's alert level has gone up a level. Your research period is almost up. We need to help you control your own risks. Is that alright? X, of course. I can sense the expectations you have of me. X. The battle arrangements from the FAC have been synchronized. Hush X is ready, and will begin observations in a minute to confirm the status of BR-002. I shall complete the requirements as always. I feel like I need to place you here, here, and you here. No, here. You here. Let's do it like that. Start. I don't particularly have any need to use any fancy tech because I am blatantly overleveled for this at the moment. Bonk. Oh. Yep. As I said, blatantly overleveled. Bonk.
ここで咲かせるわ。どうか。やす、悪く。思うなよ。
Okay. And back up. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Her refraction of attacks is actually really cool. Secret base of the garden. 23 p.m. August 17th. Secret base of the garden. Nightfall 113. No sunlight shines into the base. Kokilik leans against the doorpost, quietly contemplating something with her eyes closed. After a while, she opens her eyes and stretches dramatically. Your back hurts from sleeping. Interesting. That's probably not a good place to sleep in, huh? Aw, that trip was exhausting. My back hurts from sleeping. Rafana, I want to take a bath with roses this time. I want the tea to be rose too, as well as the sha snacks. I forgot, she hasn't woke up yet. Fine, Sumire can do it. Are you in a better mood now? If so, you can give me a massage? As you wish. Oh, Sumire. Warm spring water pours into the square bath. Fresh, bright red roses petals float on the surface. Kokilik soaks inside, happily enjoyed Sumire's service. Ah, that feels much better. How's Garofano?
まだ眠っておりますが、体が汚染される心配はもうないでしょう。師匠が能力で汚れを抜いてくださったおかげです。
She's still deep asleep, but thanks to your help extracting the filth from her body, she's no longer producing any contamination.
新人たちが彼女の世話をしております。もうじき目覚めるかと。
Some newbies are taking care of her. She should be waking up soon.
ならいいわ。
That's good then.
雇い主の言葉を鵜呑みにして変な力ばかり使わないで己を頼るか戻って師匠に助けを求めるよう花庭園の掟に追加しなさい。
Add another rule to the garden's manual. Don't blindly listen to the employer's orders to use weird powers. Always rely on yourself or ask the mentor for help.
かしこまりました。掟の73条として記載いたします。
73, that's a big amount of rules. Alright, I'll add it as number 37, rule number 73.
あざみは
As for Thirstil... Oh, she's crying.
あれは自業自得よ。
She brought it upon herself. Silence.
私の言うことを聞かずに何度も勝手に行動したからあんなことになるのよ。手を打っていなかったら何でも情報を聞き出されていたわ。
She repeatedly disobeyed my orders and acted on her own, and fell for such an obvious trap. If I hadn't taken precautions in advance, you might have leaked all kinds of information.
ね、自業自得でしょ。もう二度と助けてなんて
I
あ
won't
げ
go
ない。
save her again. Let her suffer the consequences of her actions. After another long silence, Kokilik reluctantly continues the conversation.
まあいいわ。あの子は今第9機関の診療カウンセラーのところにいるに違いないでしょうね。逆暗示をかけているから、それを解くにはまだ数日かかると思うわ。
Okay. She's probably with the psychologists at the ninth agency right now. I set the reverse psychology trap for her. They're going to be busy for a few days.
花庭園で勝手な行動を取られるより、第9機関にしばらく預けた方がマシよ。
例の銀色の雲。
Silver
あそこのボ
Spider?
スは昔から
Ninth
スイーパー
Agency?
のやり方が気に入っていないから、
I think
あ
I
の
think
子
it's
が
one
ハ
of
ッ
the
シュに渡されること
characters
もないでしょうしね。
we're gonna be meeting soon in the storyline if it goes well. Silver Spider. That's a really cool name for a character to have. Say for her to be locked up in the ninth agency to be running around the garden. That Silver Spider never saw eye to eye with Hush. She wouldn't hand her over.
そして最後はあなたが所属する管理局に入るのがオチよ。彼女にぴったりな場所だわ。敵も撃てたし、本当の自分を見つけるまでそこでゆっくり考えた方がいいわ。
She'll probably end up in your bureau. That's quite suitable for her. She has completed her revenge. Before she figures out what she wants, she should just calm down for a bit.
あのね、別にあの子が嫌いなわけじゃないのよ。規則を守れない新人ではあるけど、あなたたちに勝るところもあるわ。
I didn't say I despise her. Newbies don't know the rules and break them, but she beats all of you in at least one aspect.
自分中心に考えてばかりで献身的な真似をせず、己の利益を最優先にする。この点においてはあの子は私にそっくりで、何も心配せずに済むわ。
She does everything for herself and wouldn't sacrifice herself for others or let herself be taken advantage of. From this perspective, she's most likely like me. She makes me less worried about her than the rest of you.
彼女が無事なら何よりです。
As long as she's okay. Silence.
師匠、今までになく派手な行動をとったせいで注目を集めてしまいましたが、問題はないのでしょうか。
Mentor, you have never acted such a high-profile way before. You've attracted so much attention this time. Is that okay? Kakelik laughs. Only Suri would ask something like this. She's usually soft and shy, but becomes very direct at critical times. She tilts her head and playfully flicks Sumera's chin.
あなたたちの出番はないから、巻き込まれたくなかったらちゃんと隠れてなさい。
If you're afraid of being implicated, just hide well. I don't need your help anyway.
いいえ、花庭園に入ったその日から自分の運命に覚悟はできております。そして私はこの世で最も強い師匠が誰かに負けるとは思いません。
No, I've been prepared to meet my fate since the day I joined the garden, and you are the strongest one there is. I don't believe that anyone can defeat you.
ただ師匠は地底と上底の争いを最も厭うからこそ、それに関わらないようこの見つかりにくい場所を選んだのですよね。
It's just you've always hated the conflict between the underground and Paradisos. You even chose this secluded place as a result.
今回それに参加するのは何か深いお考
Is there
え
a
がおありで
deeper
すか？
reason for your involvement this time?
ないわ。この前は5月病で連中に構う気力がなかっただけ。夏になった今、一花咲かせようとこうして動いてるの。
No, I was just feeling sluggish in the spring. I didn't want to move or bother with them. Now the summer is here, it's time for the flowers to bloom and for me to take action.
ハッシュの連中にももううんざりだし、いい加減ハエどもには私の庭から出て行ってもらいたい。
I do think
それだけだわ。
a lot of her actions trace back to the general safety of of the garden. That's sort of what I've seen right now. She wants to cut ties. She's very self-destructive in that way. So I assume somewhere on the line, along the way, she plans to give herself up as the big target, and then have the rest of the garden hide. And that's sort of my preliminary idea of what her plan is right now. She did say directly that you can go ahead and hide. I don't need your help. So she plans to do everything on her own, which would paint a big ol' target on her back. This person doesn't really care about her life, does she? Those guys from Hush have been annoying me for a long time. I can't stand flies buzzing around my garden. That's all there is to it. As she speaks, she brushes aside Sumira's long black hair, hooks her neck to pull her in closer to gaze into her eyes.
普段はこんなことに興味ないのに、それを聞いてどうするの？花庭園を離れたい一心のあなたが自分から花庭園に戻ってきたのは これが初めてでしょ。そんな人はみんな目的は一つだけ。
Are you asking this? You usually don't care about these things. You always wanted to leave the garden. This is the first time you've come back to the garden to find me. And those who come to the garden to find me have only one reason.
復讐はうまくいっているの？自分を死に追い込むほどお優しい局長のため手を貸してほしい？
I don't think we got ourselves killed. Probably missing. I mean, are we the Shepherd 13 mentioned? Because if we are Shepherd 13, we're not killed. We're just missing in action somewhere in the West District right now because we have failed to retrieve Shepherd 13. Because it means that they would just directly say Shepherd 13 is dead, and we're not dead. This is the main character of the game. We're just not dying. How's your vengeance coming along for your kind and gentle chief who ended up killed? Need my help? The sudden change of topic makes Sumira freeze.
MBCC を離れたのはそのためでしょ。彼に手を出そうとするものをあなたが見逃せ
You left the MBCC for this, right? You wouldn't have possibly let those hurt you off the hook.
リシクで殺めたのは誰？サビか再建委員会？あとは誰よ？涅槃の高官たちをやるチャンスは作れたの？
Who did you go kill in the West District? Rustfire, the executive committee. Who else? Those high-ranking execs from Nirvana. Can you find a chance to strike?
はい。師匠の活躍により注意を引いてくれたおかげで彼らに近づく機会ができました。
Thank you to your diverting their attention with your recent activity. I have had the opportunity to get close to them.
師匠の行動を邪魔しないよう密かに実行しました。
To avoid interfering with your actions, I've been very discreet. No one will discover that this is the work of the garden.
よくやったわ。誰にも気づかれずに済ませるとはさすが私の一番弟子ね。
Well done. There's no news of this anywhere. You're truly my best student.
で、これで気が済んだ？すっきりした？たくさん仇を撃てて少しは嬉しくなってもいいでしょ？いい加減笑いなさい。
So are your anger subsided? You feel better? You avenged so many wrongs and you should feel happier by now. How about give me a smile?
あなたの笑顔を見たのはずいぶん前だし、ずっとそんな顔だと私も落ち込むわ。
I haven't seen you smile in a long time. Seeing you so bitter puts me in a bad mood too.
私はサビカのボートや執行官、そして涅槃の人の皮をかぶった獣を大勢始末しました。
I've alerted many Rustfire thugs, executive officers, and Nirvana scum.
復讐をした実感が何も湧いてこないの
I've
で
killed
す。
so many enemies, yet I don't feel like I've completed my vengeance.
殺しきれません。私の仇が彼を苦しめたものがあまりにも多すぎます。そして連中は自分が犯した罪でさえ全く覚えていないのです。
There are simply too many of them to kill. There are too many bastards who are responsible for his pain. I can't kill them all. They don't even know what they've done. She bends over in agony, burying her face in her hands.
師匠は自分がしたいことをするのが解放につながると言ってくれましたが、この果てのない復讐を前に憎しみも徐々に曖昧になり、次第に疲れてきて。
You once said that joy of vengeance would liberate me
解
from
放され
hatred.
る術を見つけられないのです。
But this hatred is endless. It's blurring and wearing me down. I have no way of fearing myself.
師匠も果てのない憎しみを抱いておりますね。それとどのように向き合い、平常心を保つことができたのですか？
You've also been dealing with endless hatred. How do you cope? How do you stop your heart from becoming numb?
それともこれが心を渡した代償なのでしょうか？彼を失ってから私はいつまでも心の穴を埋めるものを見つけられませ
Or
ん。
is it just the price I have to pay for giving away my heart? Because after losing him, I can't find a replacement.
だから師匠は自分だけを愛するように
She's
と
crying.
教えたのですか？
Is that why you told us to only love ourselves forever?
どこへ行けばよいのかがわからないのです。どうか進む道を示して
I
くだ
don't
さ
know
い。
what to do. I need your guidance.
誰かにいきなり刺されて犯人を見つけられず 暗闇の中であてもなく走るしかない。
You're living well and suddenly someone stabs you. You can't find the culprit. You can only fumble blindly in the dark.
それは復讐ではなく、ただ苦痛に駆られているだけだわ。運命に傷つけられたなら、しっかり犯人を見つけてから懲らしめる手段を考えるべき。
That is not vengeance. You're just being driven by pain. Fate has hurt you. You need to first find out who's the bastard that did it, and then figure out how to deal with him.
敵が見つからないなら、しばらく放っておきなさい。数日経てば、相手が自分から首を差し出してく
If you
るか
can't
もしれ
find
な
the
いわ。
culprit, just let it go for now. Maybe in a couple days, he'll come to you head on.
あなたを苦しめた運命に対する手段なら、復讐以外にもあるけどね。
As for how to punish bad fate, there are other ways aside from eye for an eye.
それ
You
あの
mean
バカがまだ生きているのなら、探し出して奪い返すだけのこと。人を好きになってもしょうがないの。自分の心を彼に捧げるのではなく、相手の心を騙し取って自分のものにすればいいでしょ。
if that idiot is still alive, find him and take him back. There's nothing wrong with liking someone. Instead of giving your heart away, why don't you get him to give his heart to you and hold on it tightly?
機会があれば、そいつを探してみたかったけど。
I would like to go find him if I had a chance. I want to see how this silly boy is doing, but... She smooths Sumire's hair and flashes a rare, gentle smile.
これは最後の教えよ。一度しか言わないから。
Listen up. This is the last time I'm teaching you. I won't say it again.
あなたたちは私が選んだ花。私に似ている部分があってこそ、花庭園に入ることが
I
許
like the
さ
music
れた
still.
のよ。美しい花ほど、ハエを引き寄
Let's
せや
vibe.
すいし
Let's vibe for a moment.
そして自分勝手なハエどもは、花を踏みにじるのが大好きな
Let's vibe. We're right in. Okay, you're all flowers that I've picked. You're all more or less some of my qualities to have been able... have some of my qualities to have been able to join my garden. The more beautiful the flower, the more bugs it attracts. And you all know how much these self-righteous bugs love to trample on flowers.
花は壊れやすいもの。美しい花ほど軽く触れただけで潰され、簡単に折られてしまう。私のもとに来たばかりのあなたたちは、まさにそんな感じがしたわ。
The flowers are indeed fragile. The more beautiful they are, the likelier they are to bend and wither with a slight blow. Just like how pitiful all of you are when you first came to me. All of you were when you first came to me.
弱いのは見た目だけで、あなたたちは自分の想像より強いから。
But it's okay. Let them come. You might appear weak, but you're stronger than you think.
潰されても来年には再び返り咲き、焼かれても再び芽生えてくる。たとえ運命になぎ倒されても、その根がある限り、あなたが消えることは永遠にない。
If you're crushed, you'll bloom next year. If you're burned, you'll sprout new buds from the ashes. Fate can break you, but it can never destroy you, as long as you keep roots firmly in the ground.
他人に引きずられないように、そして運命に駆られないように、自分の意志を固めなさい。
Don't drift with the current. Don't let fate push you around. Don't let external things lead you astray.
あなたたちの人生は自分のもの。私以外の誰に何を言われよう
Your lives are your own.
耳を貸す必要はないわ。
Don't listen to anyone but me. She lets go of her hands and gets up. The sound of clashing water echoes all around.
わかりました。でも師匠、最後の教えとは？
I will, but Mentor, what do you mean just now? Why did you say it's last time?
この2ヶ月、お一人で戦ってきたことを皆が心配しておりました。
You've been fighting along for the past 2 months. Everyone is very worried about you.
何か計画があるのでしたらお教えください。お体の方は。
You don't have any other arrangements? Please tell me your health.
嫌だわ。疲れがなかなか取れなくって。みんなをここに呼びなさい。一緒にマッサージして。そう。 これは私の誕生日の前祝いよ。
I can't stand it. I feel bad all over. Call everyone over for a massage. Consider it my birthday celebration in advance.
今日がより美しく楽しくいられますように。明日も今日と同じように。すべてが私
Wishing
の
for
思う
beauty,
通
joy,
り
and
になりますよ
wishes
うに。
coming true today and every day.
私を楽しませる方法をちゃんと考えなさい。今日の任務は今日を私の人生の一番楽しい日に
Think
する
about how to
こと
make your
よ。
mentor happy. Today's task is to give me the best day ever. She had the best day ever indeed. After that night, Kokolik leaves the stack of handwritten instructions, punishes each assassin with solitary confinement, and then disappears from her garden.
ここに散っている花。
Yeah. My prediction seems to be coming fairly correct here. Jesus, that was a long that was a long episode right there. This half of all of this is what took me to read this. Interesting. Okay, West District Operation 2. In response to Shalam's actions, Kokolik also hides in the shadows and begins her counterattack.
手を離さないでほしいのです。
FAC's aesthetic is so sterilized. Can't deal with it. The FAC internal threats have been largely eliminated. Underground's intelligence on us has significantly decreased. The time has come. The BR-002 Black Ring blockade operation is fully underway. The FAC will shift its focus back to the main battlefield, dealing with all possible obstacles. The Ninth Agency is keeping a close eye on the actions of the suspicious elements from the underground. The Black Ring blockade operation will inevitably be fiercely countered by the enemy. This is also an opportunity to tear off their disguise. Paradise's Hush unit will withdraw from the main battlefield and continue to investigate the mastermind behind the attacks from the garden. This relates to the spatial mysteries of the hidden underground entrance. Paradise's special envoy, Hush X, will continue to assist the operations, providing observational data and strategies for reference. Oh, fuck. 12 a.m. August 19th. Nightfall 113. FSC Black Ring Blockade Operation Joint Command. The 07. The amount of observational data that X obtained is too large. The Research Institute has only analyzed a part of it and the progress is slow, but the results are shocking. 007. BR-002 mass has far exceeded expectations and is rapidly expanding inward. It's already the largest secondary Black Ring in history, and its depth is unimaginable. 103. Nirvana has urgently added operations funding support and assured that the Executive Committee's active support with the FSC to suppress BR-02. This is good news. 04. How to suppress it? The state of BR-002 is different from all of any Black Rings in the past. Right now, we can only suppress the contamination overflow from it. We also have to strictly guard against the underground. The Shepherd won't turn a blind eye to this huge Black Ring. 02. ... Don't we also have our own Shepherd? Yeah, that's us, Shepherd 13. 03. Do you mean the Shepherd 13 who disappeared 4 months ago? Shackles our lives over. 02. The observation data from X is quite clear. At least we confirm that he's still alive. The shackles are connected to BR-002, and the connection is getting tighter. 02. No matter how powerful the underground Shepherd is, as long as the Paradises finds the Shepherd 13 first, humanity will take the lead. But 07. But is he still reliable? Previous observations have shown that Shepherd 13's shackles have swallowed too many corpses. That's his instinct, and his capacity is already close to historical limits. 07. While contracting the BR-02 corpus, the defensive rules inside his body have activated twice to halt his swallowing process. This shows that the risk is already close to surpassing our limit. 007. Now that he's connected with the BR-002 corpus and further connected with the rapidly expanded Mega Black Ring, the immense mania has dissolved all the safeguards we've set. In my opinion, he should not be trusted. 03. I'm more worried about who stole him. Is it the underground? 03. Even if he's the weakest defective product, he's still way beyond our control. Plus, before 02. Okay, it's okay. X will find him. 02. If our safety measures falter, just reinforce them. Eliminate any expected risky behaviors on the spot. 02. Paradise's rules are ironclad for them. We verified this. The moment he regains control, Mania won't be able to dismantle the rules we've established. He's valuable assets. 03. Valuable asset, you say? Are we planning to use him again? 03. Setting aside the tangible risks, his consciousness is starting to unravel. He's becoming a liability. We've all agreed he's off the table. 02. We'll just have to repurpose him then. 02. There's a high clearance chance the Shepherd 13 is trapped in the depths of Mania. Locate him, but don't awaken him. Put him keeping him in that state. 02. Have the underground Shepherd consume the BR-02 corpus, which will also result in consumption of Shepherd 13. FSC's defense grid will pinpoint the moment. Then the three entities are ready to fuse, and then 02. Take the chance to apply the rules to Shepherd 13. If we can't wipe out all three threats at once, we can at least severely cripple the underground Shepherd. Marking it alone would be a win of this for us. 07. Isn't that right, X? 02. When handled correctly, even hazardous material can become indispensable tools. X. Apologies, a stray kitten wandered in. I've just shooed it away. I'll get right to on reviewing the logs. 02. You seem to be holding up well. X. Yes, you know me well. The plan is going smoothly, and I find that gratifying. So, besides giving direct support to FEC, my real job is to recover Shepherd 13, correct? 02. Exactly. X. Excellent. I've already considered the scenario I have planned in place. Coincidentally, it ties with what I'm working on right now. 02. The garden? X. Correct. They've targeted me, and since I can't evade them, I'll turn them into an asset. X. Otherwise, once the underground gets wind of it and sends them after the alive server, we may not outpace those assassins. 02. You're always so dependable. This is a difficult task. Would you like to extend your service life? X. No. Risk management comes first. X. I've been observing for far too long. The corrosive risk is approaching the limit. The operation should be handled off when the time is right. X. The war is about to begin. We should let a more reliable backup take control of the hush system to ensure interrupted strategy. X. Don't worry. All your needs will be taken care of, just like always. 02. Very well. 02. You've always been our most efficient and dependable hush. You've never let us down. It is a legacy role.
はい。すでに実行しています。すぐ。
I assume she's taken over right about the failure of the Operation Eclipse. So she has been serving as Hush approximately since then. Because she already mentioned, and I do believe her, that the previous Hush was responsible for that operation. So it's a completely different figure that was involved. So probably something happened then, and the Paradisos has to replace the Hush after that operation, which ended up Shalom. Of course, it's already underway. It'll be very soon. Once the communication is over, Shalom takes the damp cloth from Rahu and wipes away the grime that has splashed onto her. Another Mani assassin has just been dealt with, the monocular mark on its face slowly fading away. As his body breaks apart, eerie fragments are revealed. Every puppet that has attacked her over the past half a month carried similar objects. Shalom compiles the encoded messages. Even though they're incomplete, it's enough to discern the sender's motives. She allows herself a subtle smile. Ooh, nice. Shalom. Bonk, 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 bonk. I love how wide her range is, surprisingly, for someone.
うるさい。静かにしたまえ。
ここで咲かせるわ。ここで咲かせるわ。
Okay.
終わるまで。
Yeah. Die, please. Thank you.
思うなよ。消滅するのね。悪く。
Okay.
思うねよ
Gotcha. That was unexpectedly annoying. 2:23 a.m. The rust near the DC radiation zone. Along the edge of the rust, with the woman dressed entirely in black moves with haste, vanishing from one part of the void, only to reappear another instantaneously. Huh? At last, she finds a sanctuary where her soul can rest.
引き離せたみたい
Finally lost him. Who's that?
上帝のハッシュ部隊西区からニューシティまでずっと妨害してきてまるで私たちのことを完全に把握しているみたい
The Hush units from Paradisus.
そして連中を指揮していたのはあのシャロームというコンビクト
From the West District to his side, they've been hindering us, as if they've got us figured out. The one pulling the strings is that sinner Shalom.
面倒なことになった
Deep in trouble now. The woman is black, leans silently against the wall, her wounds severe and leaving her too drained to keep running. Reinforcements aren't coming, it's just the way they operate. Field agents like her work alone on the overground, even carrying the weight of their own life and death. It's their only way to stand against Paradisus.
私たちが外から注意深く力を蓄えている間に上帝はすでに共同の奥深くに入る方法を見つけた
While we're cautiously mining power little by little from the external source,
少なくとも発想までは
Paradisus has already penetrated deep into the heart of Mania, reaching at least the 8th level of collected observation.
いや連中があれほどの力を手に入れたならもはや勝ち目がなく全てはとっくに終わっているはず
No, they can't possibly harness such profound power yet. If they could, the game would already be over. We'd have no chance of winning.
連中は今はまだ観察し連絡を取っているだけ共同の世界で軍隊意志の波動を観測したからこそ3月にあれほど正確な誘導が行えた、そして10年前には上帝の指揮の下で内海を超える行動が行われていた
Right now, they're just observing and communicating. They were able to make such precise manipulations in March because they've noticed fluctuation in collective within the world of Mania. As for 10 years ago, the mission across this sea was also overseen by Paradisus.
しかし観測しても長くは続かないいずれにしても観測者が腐食されるのは必要ならば
Hey, I'm not corrupted here.
上帝には替えの観測者も
Don't involve me here. Okay?
彼らの技術は
I have nothing to do with this.
進んだということで
I am the observer here. I have nothing to do with this. But an observation has its limits. No matter how the technique used, an observer is bound to be corrupted over time. Please don't mention that. I've already been suffering from burnout. Relevant jokes. That means Paradisus must have backup observers on hand. Oh yes, there's many backup observers. There's many backup of me. And many backups of me. Backup observers on hand. Have they really advanced the technology to this extent? If all this is a part of the Hush grand scheme derived from her observations, and if she had indeed penetrated the depths of Mania, then what she might see or do is beyond any comprehension from the underground. What sort of technologies does Paradisus have to keep such a monster under control? And could this technology be effective on... The thought sends a shiver down the woman in black. Fear and loathing well up inside her.
とにかく何としてもスイーパー X シャローム奴を始末しなければさもないと BR002 が
At all costs, they must be stopped, must be eradicated. Hush-X, Shalom, otherwise BR002 will... As she wrestles with her thoughts, a voice she knows all too well pierces the darkness.
シーゲルじゃない。たった数日ぶりなのに、何よその無様な姿は。
Oh my, Seagull, is that you? Long time no see. You look like you've been through the ringer.
死なないでよね。あなたの小細工で庭を隠してもらわないといけないんだから。
Don't die. My garden still relies on your little tricks to stay hidden.
あ れは私の力じゃないわ。地下の力よ。そしてもうあなたのものになっている。
This power is mine. It's from the underground. Now it's yours alone.
要求通りに報酬を前払いしたのに、どうやらあなたは依頼を完了していないようね。
I honored your terms and paid you up front, but it still stands. You failed to fulfill your end of the bargain.
それにあなたのせいで
Worse yet, you've
私たち
compromised
全員
all
の
of
こと
us.
がバレてしまったわ。
そうなの？本当に悪かったわね。
Is that so? Well, I am truly sorry. Cocklick steps forward, closing in on Seagull. With a swift move, she plunges her hand into Seagull's wound.
ガロファノを騙したのはあなたね。死に至るような情報をあの子に送ったのは。ああ、それにあの気味悪い文様も。
It was you who tricked Jarafana, wasn't it? Fed her deadly misinformation along with those vile runes.
指定の仲間のところへは行かず、私のところに命乞いに来るなんて、どうやら見捨てられたみたいね。
You seek my aid instead of turning to your fellow beings from the underground. Clearly, you've been cast aside.
私たちにとってあなたは唯一の窓口だったのに。花庭園は今後、大口のお客様を一人失ったということね。
You've always been our sole point of contact.
残
With our departure, the garden stands to lose a significant client. A regrettable loss indeed.
最後のご来店ありがとうございます。今後花庭園はあなたたち地底と関わることはないでしょう。
Thanks for your final patronage. From now on, my garden will have no further ties with the underground.
私を裏切る必要なんてなかったのに。あなたの能力があれば、たとえ地底に従わなくても手出しされること
You
は
didn't have to betray
な
me.
かったわ。
Even your skills defying the underground would hardly put you in harm's way.
構わないわ。私の使命はもう終わったも
But
の。
it doesn't matter now. The mission is fulfilled.
あなたがそうした理由も知っているわ。その力のために何を引き換えにして
I know why you did this. I know the
そして
sacrifices you made for this
なぜ
newfound
裏
power.
切ったのか。
I know why you've betrayed me. Before she can utter another word, Cocklick swings her hand, extracting an almost dark and eerie, writhing alien flower from within her. As this happens, Seagull transforms beyond recognition, leaving only the sinister bloom displayed against her black attire. Cocklick observes the woman's form dissolving before her eyes and witnesses the nightmarish entity she has unleashed. This should have been done so much sooner. The one who cast Cocklick into the abyss, one who ensnared her for countless years, this lowly rat who dares to covet her garden, has finally been banished to where she rightfully belongs.
それはもちろん好きでしたこ
Of
とだ
course,
からよ。
because I wanted to.
さ
Next! She gazes intently at the intelligence concealed in the woman's embrace. And on the other side, another individual who presents even more of a challenge.
いいわ。行きなさい。そして私の力に。
It's fine. Go. I'll know you'll help me.
ここにち
Sheesh. Sheesh. I wonder how long this is overall going to be. 13. Yeah, we are ramping up. We are going to be approaching the end point of the game soon enough, of this episode. In the Russian half of the Paradisos joined to our office, two destined opponents begin their showdown.
みんなに踏ん張る力を与えま
Confrontation.
しょ
So
う。
the finally Kokelik and Shalom are going face to face. 7 a.m. August 23. Oh, that's several days past. Nightfall 113. FSC Black Green Blockade Operation Joint Command. The first set of critical strongholds has been successfully captured, and the anti-mania core base is under rapid construction. As anticipated, we've met with resistance. Hordes of mania mutants are an inserted remnants of rioters are relentlessly attacking our front lines. But it was exactly as Observer X from the Paradisos predicted. We successfully deceived the enemy with intelligence operations before the battle. They received a falsified stronghold distribution map and walked right into our relay trap. This provided our spearhead forces with critical advantage, bolstered by soaring morale with making steady progress in fortifying our front lines. Cheryl has assumed communications duties, while Shalom attentively listens to the common messages.
そうですか。それは良かったです。
Is that so? That's wonderful news.
真正面から敵と戦うあなたたちこそ英雄と呼ばれるにふさわしい存在です。上帝から与えられた私の仕事は全力を尽くしてあなたたちをサポートすることです。
You're too kind. You are the true hero, spilling blood and sweat on the front lines to face the enemy. My role, as assigned by the Paradisos, is to support you in every way possible.
中枢基地局は安定しており、防御網計画はすでに全面的に展開しています。この先は情報操作する余地は少なく、残されるのは正面からの対決のみです。
Well, the core base is now secure, and the entire defense grid has been successfully activated. It's time to focus on these front lines. There's limited scope for intel operations now.
間もなく地下勢力が動き出すでしょう。本当の激戦はこれからです。それまでに必ず仕事を完遂いたします。
Going forward, the underground forces will spring into action. That's where the real struggle begins. I have other critical tasks to attend to as well.
ブーンをお祈りします。ディスの英雄。
Good luck out there, heroes of this. Communications have been closed. Shalom hovers silently beside her, emitting a flicker of blue light. We're operating efficiently. All other departments are in place. Next up, it's time to deal with Shepard 13.
もちろん、あなたたちの判断が正しいでしょう。今一番大事なことは、あの人を見つけ出す。
So whatever happens in chapter 11 and 12, because I know this takes place after, leads Paradisos, who have been completely uninvolved until now in the story, at least up until episode 5. I don't really know what happens from 5 to 9 yet. 5 to 10, yeah, 5 to 10. So, which clearly is going to clarify some things. Whatever happens here is in the last episodes of the current storyline that are available. Paradisos gets heavily involved. I still assume the underground are the forces behind the inheritance. So two completely different strongholds that are actually clashing with each other, considering things. Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't expect there to be two big antagonistic forces that the chief has to contend with. I didn't expect that. They clearly have different rationalities as well. Paradisos seems to want to completely suppress the mania in perfect control. Underground, quote unquote, wants to unleash as much of it as possible. At least that's what their actions of trying to activate the inheritance has signified to me. Because activating the inheritance seems to do something that ultimately results in a black ring. Black ring spreads contamination more, yada yada yada. Certainly, assessment is spot on, locating him as our foremost priority at this moment.
これを機に、あの人を頼れる人に徹底的に改造するか、それともこの潜在的な脅威を排除するか、どちらにせよ。
Either we capitalize on this moment to fully reinform him into someone trustworthy, or we eradicate this latent threat altogether. Paradisos must locate him before the underground becomes aware.
FSC, MBCC, 第9機関、ハッシュに直接手を出させるわけにはいきません。目的が前面に出れば、地底に必ず気づかれます。
That's true. Too big.
彼らは
to direct it's very easy to it's what time is it now? Yeah, August. The operation is very rapidly approaching. Neither FAC, MBCC, the ninth agency, nor even Hush can directly intervene. The objective would be far too transparent, and the underground would inevitably detect it. They should remain focused on the front lines. The August offensive serves as our optimal subterfuge.
あとは私にお任せください。この任務を誰に任せるべきかは知っています。計画も立案済みです。あの人を必ず回収します。
As for the remainder, entrust it to me.
これを私の最後の任務といたしましょう。
I know precisely whom to engage for this task. Plans have already been formulated for his retrieval. Consider this my ultimate flawlessly executed mission, unless someone interferes. Just as another thought crosses her mind, a visitor darkens her doorstep.
へえ、大作戦が無事終了したのね。
Ah, has the grand operation come to a successful close? Emerging from the shadows behind her, the grand garden's mentor holds a floral sword marked with the remnants of her quarry. She breaches her the most stringent security, silently evading her all alarms, and now stands before the Hush. Shalom doesn't turn around, but Cheryl is already hovering behind her, entering a state of heightened alert.
これは師匠。我々はあの地底のものを見つけたが、その体中に恐ろしい花が咲いていた。さては君の仕業かな。
Welcome, mentor. We've located the underground and adored with scentling blooms. Your handiwork, I presume.
いちいちお礼なんて言わなくてもいいわ。私が優しく注意してあげなかったら、総司令官を含め FAC の上官たちはとっくに命を落としているんだから。
Don't mention it. You all owe me more things that you can imagine. If it weren't for my gentle nudge, that FAC commander-in-chief and those juniors commanders wouldn't have made it to the battlefield.
今回の西区防衛なんちゃら作戦とやら、一番大きな勲章は私に授与されるべきじゃない。
So shouldn't the highest honor for this West District Defense operation go for me?
ああ、確かに君は
Absolutely. You're nothing short of remarkable.
指定の最も重要な依頼を受けて、そのまま双方の激戦区に飛び込み、好きなだけ騒いだ挙句、誰にも気づかれずに自分の依頼人を
Yeah, I figured that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to completely clash Paradisos and Underground with their heads and prevent anyone from interfering with her garden anymore. Taking Underground boar's crucial assignment, you've plunged headlong into the fiercest zones of conflict for both sides. After steering the pot, you subtly redirected the chaos back towards your own client. Ultimately, you've broken the chains that have been choking you for so long.
綱渡りをいとも簡単に行うとは、さすが長年にわたって地底と上底の間を自由に行き来する人。
It's a delicate balancing act, but you've managed it well. No wonder you've been able to move so freely between Paradises and the Underground for years. Shalom took to Kokelik, and her smile tinged with kindness.
地底と完全に決裂したのなら、こちらに来ないか。
Saying as you've severed all ties with the Underground, would you consider aligning with me? Kokelik is taken aback yet pleasantly surprised.
本当にいいの？私のことを許してくれて、私たちを受け入れてくれ
She's
るの？
being sassy here, really? Is it possible? Would you forgive me, accept us?
もうダメ。これ以上演技できないわ。
Can't go on pretending any longer. In the blink of an eye, the crimson Flora sword and obsidian shield clash and recoil. Sheldon remains unmoving, while Rahu has already positioned herself before her, deflecting Kokelik's assault with her shield.
またこのバカ声なの？前より気持ちが入ってないんじゃない？どうしたの？私に貫かれて死んだから転生して犬になり下がっちゃった。
Is that pathetic guard again? You had some spirit last time I saw you. What happened? Did my blade snuff out that spirit, turning you into her lapdog? You can't imagine how true that is.
彼女の犬になったものの末路はちゃんと覚えているわ。あの金髪のバカ子娘はどうなったの？
I still vividly remember what happened to her
それとも
lapdog.
泣き崩れただけ？
So what's the deal with that airhead? Dead or just cried her eyes out?
あんな哀れな末路を見ても二の舞になろうとするバカがいるとはね。
And people still buy your nonsense after seeing that?
されているんじゃないでしょうね。
What? Did you brainwash them or something?
気ままに生きているな。普通は復讐にあんな無茶な手段は用いない。
You sure live without a care, settling scores as if it's nothing. Most people wouldn't dare.
恨みを買えば周囲の人を巻き込んでしまうからね。復讐にはそれ相応の代償が必要。
They did fear accumulating enemies, endangering those they care about. The steep price of revenge.
君は気にしないのか。君の花庭園。
What's your take? Does it not bother you? And what about your garden?
憎しみの連鎖と果てしない復讐を終わらせて今を大切にすべきって
You're talking about the unending chain of hatred, aren't you? When all the cycle of vengeance, when will this cycle of vengeance ever break? Is your point to value those who stand before us now?
花庭園の師匠であり暗殺者組織を束ねる私の命を狙う者は星の数ほどいるし復讐しようとする依頼者も数えきれないわ
I am the master of the
ま
garden,
さかそんな話をされるとはね
the head of the assassin group. People seeking vengeance flock to me in droves, just as countless others beseech me to exact revenge on their behalf. And you're taking to me about hatred?
私が法を守ればあなたがおとなしくしてくれるの私の前に立てば殺されるリスクがあるからこそあなたは迂闊に動くことができ
Would
ないん
you
でしょ
spare me your harassment because I'm just and kind? No, the only reason you'd hesitate in the knowledge that crossing my path would mean certain death.
身の程を知ってつつましく暮らしていれば無事に過ごせるほどこの世界は生ぬるくないわ私たちを自由にさせるのは力そして血の復讐だけよ
This world has never been kind to us just because I tread carefully and abide by the rules. The only thing that grants us is the freedom to truly live our raw power and the principle of an eye of an eye.
身をもって分からせてほしい
Shall I teach you this lesson up close and personal?
それは失礼した。君ほどの強者なら確かに自分勝手に振る舞う資格があるだ
My
ろう。
apologies. With your strength, you certainly earn the right to act as you wish. Reaching out, she catches petals falling amidst their fierce clash. These are the Fania flowers, crafted by Kokilik. Shalom appreciates their delicate beauty as she lightly rubs them between her fingers.
上帝も地帝も君の強さと狂気に怯えている。君に代償を求められるのを恐れている。君が生きている限り、君の花庭園も君が育てた。
Both Paradises and the Underground fear your might and madness, dreading the day you'll come to collect their dues. As long as you're alive, neither your garden nor your blooms need to worry about being trampled.
立場が変わってもし私が君だったら私もより安心できて昔の君のように
If I were you, I'd be more at ease, more reassured, just as you used to
君
be.
はバランスを取
You
るの
always struck to
が
find
上手だ
balance between the two.
それなのに
If so,
どうして急にそんな
why
に
the sudden
急ぎ
impatience?
始め
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about as well, honestly. She is being reckless. She's been extremely self-destructive in this. Usually she'd be a mastermind, sitting behind.
対戦が迫っているのに今回君は逃げるどころか自ら首を突っ込んだ地帝の依頼を受けて上帝に挑み今度は上帝の手を借りて地帝に対抗するまるで死に急ぐように花庭園にかけられた束縛を逃
Yeah, that's what she's doing. Shalom picked up on that as well, I see. I mean, obviously, if that's what the story intends to do, some smart character will eventually pick up on it. But it's definitely makes sense that it was Shalom who picked up on it. Both sides are on the brink of war, and yet you've not only chosen to not sidestep the conflict, you've thrown yourself into it. You accepted a contract from the Underground to challenge the Paradisos, and now you're turning their own blade back on them. As if you'd determined to sever any tie that binds you, Garden, come what may. A gaze settles on Kokilik, taking her impossibly youthful face and her eerily pale skin, as if it's as if time stood still for her, frozen in some distant past. Shalom smiles, a knowing glint in her eyes.
その理不尽な強さは命を代償とするものだろうあと何日の命が残っているのだ師匠
Your extraordinary strength has been traded for your life, hasn't it? Just how many days do you have left, Mentor? The atmosphere grows suddenly tense. Kokilik fixes her eyes on the hush of Paradises. After a moment that feels like an eternity, she unleashes her sword. This time, all levity has vanished.
喧嘩売っているの？失礼ね。私に残された命はそっちより長いに決まってい
Are
る
you
わ。
wishing for my death? How uncouth. I'll have you know my days are numbered higher than yours.
鎌をかけただけだ。もしや当たっているのか？
Just a question. Is it that I hit the nail on the head? Shalom laughs. Before she can even finish speaking, the white figure surges forward, crashing forcefully into Rahu's shield. I find it ironic that I am that these two are actually on the same battlefield together.
自分でやる。
I find it highly ironic. Ah, right. Robots.
ここで咲かせるわ。終わるまで。悪く。ここで咲かせるわ。終わる。ここで眠って。私への感謝を抱き。消滅するのね。
Fuck you. Wow.
ここで咲かせるわ。終わるまで。
No, that's fine. Right, they're all heading here towards the chief. Jesus, that was unexpected.
あの地底の者はシーゲルと言ったな。追跡行動中、ハッシュの手から逃れ続けられたのは彼女のみだ。報告書から見ると、彼女はある未知の空間異能力、あるいは地底の術式を身につけているはずだ。
I remember Siegel, the undergrounder. She was the only one who managed to consistently evade Hush during the whole chase. According to the reports, she's either mastered some kind of spatial power or she's tapped into the underground mania magic.
報酬というのはそれだな。依頼を完了すれば、花庭園の拠点を完璧に隠せる方法を教えてもらう。
So it was paid up
そう
front.
いう約束をしていたのだ。
That's your reward for taking on the mission, right? Once the mission's complete, she'll show you how to perfectly conceal the garden.
クズなりに好きなだけ考えていればいいわ。地底の秘術を解くこともできず、何年かかっても地底への入り口を見つけられないあなたたちが、それを当てても何の意味もないから。
Feel free to guess, but even if you guessed it, you're incapable of deciphering the arcane arts of the underground. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been groping in the dark for years, failing to even locate the entrance. Losers.
確かに。上帝は地底のように共同の力の使い方を熟知していないから、花庭園を見つけることはできないだろう。
It's simple provocation, what she's doing.
君の
very
花たち
noticeable.
もなかなか身を隠すのが
You're
得
right.
意だ。
Paradises doesn't have the same mastery over money as the underground, making it impossible for them to locate the garden. Besides, your blooms have all become expert at concealment.
君は限られた命を使って彼女たちのために全力を尽くしているのだろう。師匠、君は思慮深く、自分が想像しているよりはるかに
Thank you,
優
thank
しい。
you, Captain Obvious.
間違いなく尊敬に値する。
I am now branding you the greatest, the Captain Obvious dunk. Approved. Within the finite life you have, you've gone to great lengths to pave your path. Mentor, you possess a finesse and softer side that's even greater than you realize. Truly commendable.
気持ち悪いわね。すべては自分のためよ。この花庭園をもらったのも、あの子たちを利用しようとしただけ。
Make me sick. I only acted in my own interest. I accepted this garden because the good that's serving me pleases me.
そうだろうな。彼女たちは君のことを愛している。君の想像する
Right, they do love you very much.
と深く。
Even more profoundly than you realize. Here thus words Cookie Leg gives goosebumps all over. In an instant, her crystalline weapon, forged from the essence of the countless fallen foes, is shattered by a piercing beam of blue light. The attack comes from Shorel, glowing ominously, adjacent to the Shinar Shalom. It unfurls its form and gracefully floats to the battlefield's core. Rahuz has retreated, lifting her shields to protect Shalom. Ukalik recalls the devastating potency of its assault against Mania. During the abduction episode, an unexpected celestial downpour obliterated an entire track filled with underground Mania bombs. For the sinners, this entity is nothing short of Paradise's man-made god of death. Your first sight was spot on. An underground has indeed nurtured a perilous sinner. It's no wonder the Paradisus has struggled to eradicate her for so long. However, her vitality has been severely drained by mania. Her sluggish movements pose little threat. Eliminate her, X. For the sake of your mission, you must remove any chance of underground interference. Shalom looks beyond the god of death, fixing her gaze on the target to Kokilik. Unwavering before Cheryl, she's already ushered the new floral sword. She must have amassed considerable power for this odyssey. You're all underestimating her. She's not indecisive. Her consciousness is actively seeking a way to cheat death. She aspires to meet her and elsewhere. But that won't work, Kukilik. Unleash your full power, or your blossom will be crushed before it ever blooms. Shalom clutches the petals in her hand and starts to speak softly.
エノリカ山荘で君たちの話になると、ガロファノは躊躇なく洋館に侵入した。そして用意された偽情報の中で彼女が最も関心を持ったのは
In Erikavilla, Mary mentioned the unique Garofano versions without a second thought.
延命させる技術だった。
Out of all misinformation provided, she is most intrigued by the technology that enables the control of mania to help extend lifespan.
彼女たちは今焦っているだろう。今回の行動を彼女たちに話したか？もう何日も会
Your
っていないんだ。
followers must be growing increasingly anxious. Did you fill them in on the details of this mission? When was the last time you went back and saw them?
君に関する情報を少し流すだけで。それに釣られるバカな。
She's provoking her. She is provoking her. She's absolutely bullshitting right now. Honestly, well played, Shalom. Well played. I can already see the play here. Well played. She's gonna lose it. It's been long enough for that a mere trickle of information that released about you sent eager fools rushing to investigate. Are these... Shalom pulls a few blue crystals flowers from her pocket, violet, carnation, crystallinum, lily. As Kokilik catches sight of them, her eyes narrow instantly. Shalom smiles, severing every nuance of Kokilik's reaction.
知っているだろう。彼女たちも
You know, they want to protect you just
君
as
と同
much.
じように仲間思いなんだよ。
Yeah, she's bullshitting.
残念だが、君がこれまで作った敵は多すぎる。
Yep.
私が命令を受けてしまえば、もはや取り返しがつかない。
Smart. Oh god, smart. I know what she's doing. She's trying to get Kokilik out of the sticky situation by making her completely lose it. And unleashing everything she has. Because if she does so, then Shalom herself can set up some stuff in the background. I'm not exactly sure what she's setting up right now, but I have to mention something. I didn't mention it before, but on rewatch on my Rainburst event, I have noticed some weird behavior discrepancies with her. Something about her when she acts towards Paradisos, she's so... How do I say it? Subtly sussy? Subtly sassy. Not sussy sassy. It's kind of like... It's that weird energy she has about it. Like, she's kind of like mocking them in low-key manner all the time. Everything will be as you please. Like, if you watch this from a perspective of mockery, a lot of what she says, even in Flora unfurl event, becomes very interesting because there's a sarcastic undertone to a lot of what she says towards Paradisos. Even that thought process she had, like, if you don't unleash your full power, you'll die. And then she proceeded to go with the biggest provocation she could possibly offer to Kokilik, which is like, I killed your flowers, oopsie daisy, even though she had no time to do that. I have regrets, but you've accumulated too many enemies on this path. Once the order reached me, there was no turning back.
君一人では彼女たちを永遠に守ることができない。
You can't shield them alone, not forever. Some things are simply fated. What will the Garden Master do next, and to what extent she can act?
さて、 私の仕事はこれで終わり。
She's about to lose it. She's about to lose it. Oh, she's gonna lose it so hard. Goddamn. Okay. Lost justice. It's just lost Christina stumbles about as she restarts her quest for justice.
鐘が鳴
Oh,
るわ。
Christina.
儀式を始めましょう。
5:20 p.m., August 23, Nightfall 103. East Side, Banyan Medical College, First Affiliated Hospital. Special ward. Inspector Dole stays behind it to accompany Christina. He says he'll wait for her to recover at the hospital.
大したことじゃない。俺が証明してやる。
It's not a big deal. I'll prove it to you. In front of Christina's hospital bed, Inspector Doyle awkwardly cuts an apple. He's not good at taking care of people. He cuts pieces in different sizes and almost cuts his hand. The girl stares blankly without any reaction. In just a few days, she lost a lot of weight, and her once sparkling eyes have dulled.
MBCC の許可をもらった。たとえ何があっても、君の怪我が治るまでは収容しないと約束してくれた。君の安定性を証明するために、捜査一課はこの間を利用して説明資料を用意している。
MBCC agreed, no matter what, that they will not
FAC 所属
detain.
の君の父親の知り合いも尽力している。
Not detain you until you've recovered from your injuries. In the meantime, the investigation team will prepare explanatory materials for you to prove your stability. Your uncle at the FAC is also making connections elsewhere, everywhere.
誰がこんな命令を下したのかはわからないが、でも大丈夫だ。君がいいやつだってこ
I
とは
don't
みん
know
な
who
知っている。
exactly gave this order,
君は
but it's okay. We all know you're a good kid. His words are cut off by a whisper as his work phone vibrates. After Dole picks it up and whispers a few words, he frowns and stands up.
仕事があるから、俺はもう行く。ちゃんと食べて。
We've got work to do, so I'll get going. Eat something, take care of yourself first.
刑事さん。
Inspector.
どうした
Hmm?
何か
What's
欲しいのか
Do you need something?
正義って存在すると思う。
Does justice really exist? Dole's eyes turn red. He roughly cuts the apple into the plate, sticks a toothpick in it, and places it in Christina's hand. He turns around to leave but stops at the doorway, slamming his fist against the door frame.
諦めるな、クリスティナ。君は今まで人のために正義を求めてきた。今度は俺たちが君のために正義をなす番だ。
Don't give up, Chris. You've always been advocating justice for others. Now when it's your turn to need it, we'll give it back to you. He steps up to the ward. The door is immediately locked. Christina is now in a semi-house arrest state. She sits blankly in the ward, staring at the window. The sun sets and night falls. She gets out of bed, pulls out the hidden roll of bandages, ties one around her waist and the other end at the head of the bed. She checks the length and checks the eaves and pipes outside the window where she can land. She then turns and walks into the bathroom, picks up the fruit knife left by Dole, wipes it with her stashed alcohol, then makes a shallow cut behind her ear to remove the tracker. When she comes out, she grabs the top of her infusion stand, breaks it to convenient length, and tucks it into her waist. Before leaving, she notices the unsightly cut yellowed apple on the plate. She picks up a piece of it to eat, but then puts it back down.
存在するのかな。
Does it exist? She rubs her red eyes and rolls out. Half an hour later, alarms ringing through the hospital, quickly spreading to half of each side. One 1:24 a.m. August 24th, nightfall 113, the house of Christina and Mireia. A rough knock on the door wakes Mireia. She readily sits up in her wheelchair, opens the door, and is met with a face she never expected to see.
クリスティナの妹ミリアとはお前のこ
Are you
とだな。
Christina's sister Mireia?
お前の姉はコンビクトとしての安全性および服従度が最低値を突破したため永久と判断され、直ちに収容措置を
Your
取
sister
るよう
is a
に
sinner,
命じ
has
ら
fallen
れた。
below the safety and obedience threshold, and has been rated as an S class. Immediate detainment is necessary.
オッケー、捜査の邪魔をするな。
Move aside, we need to conduct a thorough research. Expressionless, Maya steps aside and watches the rummage through her things with a strange device. After a while, she follows them in the room and takes the largest stack of handwritten letters from Christina's drawer.
いくら探しても無駄だよ。私たちは実の姉妹じゃないし、仲が悪いから。
Don't
こ
bother.
こに逃げ込むはずがない。
She and I are biological sisters that don't get along. She wouldn't come here.
これをどうぞ。彼女が助けた人の中でもごく限られたアホどもだよ。
Here's there are a few idiots
彼
she
女を
helped.
かばう人がいるとし
If
たら、
anyone is going to harbor
この
her,
中の
it
誰
will
か
be
に
one
違
of
い
these
ないか
people.
ら。
The sheriff takes the letters from her hand with a puzzled look, opens a few and starts to laugh mockingly. He nods to Miria.
危険なコンビクトの摘発への協力に感謝するぜ。正義の市民。
You've done well in exposing the dangerous sinner. You surely are an advocate for justice, citizen. Well done. Upon hearing the words justice, the already gloomy girl furrows her brows, revealing the disgusted expression.
もたもたしてるとあのコンビクトが逃げるから早く確保してよね。あいつが最も恐れてる青い雨が降ってるから外にはいないはず。急いでよ。
You catch her already. Don't let that sinner escape. It's raining her most hated blue rain outside. She wouldn't dare to stay out there. Hurry up. I love how they expected the family relations to mean something, and then they're just like actually puzzled and like, what? She doesn't even try. What the fuck am I supposed to do here? Just like, oh, I see how it is. 203, August 24th, Nightfall 113, FAC's 5th public cemetery. Christina stands alone among the gravestones, the first place she thought of hiding, but there is no shelter from the rain. The blue rain soaks her completely, many and reactions burning her body and consciousness. She regularly hears of voices, but she has no strength left to run. She turns her head and sees a figure approaching her, shouting something harshly, but Christina can no longer hear clearly. It isn't until the person rushes up and grabs her hand she recognizes the unmistakable figure of her sister in the wheelchair.
何バカなことしてんのよ。
What the hell are you doing here?
ミリア。なんで
Miria, how do you... Miria quickly pulls a black raincoat over Christina's head, shielding her from the blue rain.
家はもう荒らされたし、あのリストも大して時間を稼げない。もし私が尾行されてたら、あいつらがここに来るかもしれない。
They already found our home. The list won't tell them for long. I don't know if they come in or if they checked me.
これからどうするの？どこへ逃げるつもり？
What are you going to do next? How do you plan to escape from the hunt?
逃げないよ。
Escape? No.
裏に何かある。調べに
There's more to this. I need to investigate. I need to find the truth.
何があったの？
What happened? That word, waiting for a response, Miria makes a disgusted face, shoving something into Christina's arms.
またあの女のことね。とっくに警告したのに、自分に嘘を
Is
つ
that
かな
woman
いでよ。
again? I told you she's definitely trouble, but you keep fooling yourself.
彼女について回ってどういうやつかはとっくに分かってたはずでしょ。いい加減目を背けるような真似はやめてくれ
You've
る？
been on a run with her for so long, you should have seen it clearly by now. Is facing the truth that hard for you, detective?
もういいよ。こうなった以上、あんたも自分なりの考えがあるんでしょ。
Forget it. Given the situation, you must have on your own
私が止めても
plans.
無駄だろうし。
Anyway, I can't stop you.
はいこれ。あんた一応はディスシティ治安大学とかいう大層な名前の警察学校に合格して事件を解決したこともあるんだし、別にあの女のおかげじゃないでしょ。
Here's your stuff. You are in the police academy.
あんたは刑事なんだから
Correct cases. All of this wasn't taught to you hand in hand by her. Without her, you're still a detective. Don't act like a waste.
私の家に来たばかりの時のことを思い出したら、あそこからも出られたんだからしょぼくれた顔しないでよ。
Think about how you were there, when you first came to my house. You've managed to walk out from there. Now pull yourself together. Holding the stuff Miria had given her, which included her spare cane, detective tools, and so on. Christina lifts her head and pulls the hood arranged over her head.
不正解だ。真実を明らかにし、
Wrong
犯
answer.
人を捕まえ、二度と人を
Yeah.
傷つけさせないようにするん
Even
だ。
in this situation, she said, "Yeah, you
君は刑事なんだ。
don't say I will never do anything wrong. Seek the truth. Wrong answer. You should still seek the truth, capture the criminal, and prevent her from hurting anyone else. You're a detective, after all.
もう行くね。
I'm
来
off
てくれて
then.
ありがとう。
Thank you for coming for me. 421, August 24th, Eastside Public Security Bureau Special Office. In the secret cell in Zone W, the garden assassin Trustel, who was in a coma, is awakened by the alarm.
侵入警告侵入警告 E2 エリアが破壊され監禁対象は逃走中、侵入警告
Intrusion warning, intrusion warning. Zone E2 has been breached. Detainees have escaped. Intrusion warning. E2 is not my area.
こっちじゃない。それもそうね。
Right.
彼女は
She couldn't possibly still. As she was thinking, the wall suddenly smashed open. Therstel's eyes widened. She didn't expect any of her garden partners to act so unruly. The person who stormed and surprised her even more
見つけた。
found you. You? Let's say another word. Christina swings her game, break the restraints on Crystal's limbs. The sophisticated lock was unlocked instantly in the face of Detective's violence. Christina grabs Crystal and rushes out.
なして何をするつもりよ。
Let me go! What are you trying to do?
花庭園まで連れてって。
Take me to the garden, now.
死ね。そんなの二度と。
Go to hell! How could I do that to...
ここ5日の間、ココリコが死んだという情報があちこちで飛び交ってる。あれは多分デマだから、そんなに驚かなくてもいいよ。
In the past 5 days, news of Kokolik's impending death has been all over the place. Don't be so scared. It's probably a lie to trick you. Haven't you been fooled like this before?
ついさっき、武装したハッシュ部隊が去っていくのをこの目で見た。近道を知ってるなら、早く戻った。
I just saw those hush squads leaving fully armed. If you know the way, hurry up and take the shortcuts back.
急がないと。家を失うよ。
If you don't act now, your home will be gone. Startled by this, Trustel panics, grabs Christina's wrist, dodges the sheriff's blocking the way, and rushes towards the end of the corridor.
壁を壊して。
Smash the wall! The violent detective swings her cane and creates a large hole in the concrete wall. To her surprise, the assassin pulls her and jumps out. This is a height of several stories. Amid the soft plummeting wind, the assassin swiftly cuts a shallow wound into her palm. The small injury immediately splits open into a willow leaf-shaped scar and set on glowing like a pupil. The trace of mania rapidly spreads along his edges. Suddenly, before they fall, a pitch-black circular hole abruptly opens in midair. The two dives strut fast into it. Christina finally lets out a cry, only to find that the sounds around her have abruptly changed. The hustle and bustle of the city is completely shut off. She finds herself in a dark dome-like space. It's silent, gloomy, and is cut off from the world.
その能力は一体何？
What kind of power is this? Where am I? Therstel doesn't answer instead. She immediately gets up and pulls Christina away, and vigilantly turns back to stare at the solid black circle where they originally were, a flame-like blade forming in her palm. First, a string of bullets is fired upwards from below. After a while, something that size of a head barely reveals itself, half of itself from the black hole. Therstel rolls and tries to blade down, pushing the invader back before it can fully emerge. At the same time, the black circle quickly contracts and completely disappears, as if it had never appeared on this ground. Therstel then falls backwards, panting heavily, as if everything has finally come to an end. Christina looks around and spots a secluded building in the distance. There are lights on the building, as yet it's very quiet, an omen she can't quite decipher. Quick,
早く。花庭園。
return to the garden. 413, August 24th. NF113, Spatial Sorcery, question mark, question mark.
ここが最後の基地よ。登録済みの花庭園のメンバーなら入り口を開くことができるけど、さっきみたいに閉まるまで時間が
This is
かか
the
る
last
から。
base. Registered members of the garden can open the entrance, but it takes a long time to close once it's open. Like what just happened.
相手がバカでよかったわ。探知機でも投げ込まれたら。
Thank goodness there are a bunch of idiots. If they had thrown a locator in here, I would have... Christina suddenly supports Trustel, who then barely the two of them barely making up a whole healthy person. The cinders help each other towards the distant building. The symbol in Trustel's palm When she opened, the entrance is familiar. It's the same symbol that was on the Mania bombs in the recent FAC kidnapping incident. The symbol of the underground puppets. Shalom said it was the symbol of the most evil power in this.
これはあなたたちの能力の
Is this the garden's power?
いいえ師匠によるとこれは報酬
No. The mentor said
最
it's
後
a
の
reward.
依頼の報酬よ
The reward for the last commission.
彼女はついに誰にも邪魔されない庭を手に入れた
She's
の
finally going to have the garden that won't be disturbed by anyone.
つまり指定からもらった避難所ってことだねさっきのあれは
In
何
other
かの
words,
空
a
間技
shelter
術
given
な
to
の
me by the underground. Was that spatial technology just now? Thinking about these things, the two approach the quiet building. As they get close, an ominous feeling suddenly arises, stopping all their conversation. As they get closer, they are left dumbfounded. Christina reaches an instant to give Interest an anesthetic to stop her from having a breakdown. It's something she stole from the hospital. Christina used it to deal with the guards watching Tristal, and then she still laughs. Once you get used to being a detective, you learn quite a few tricks for doing bad things yourself too. Christina moves the unconscious assassin to the side. She turns to face everything in front of her, temples throbbing uncontrollably.
行こうクリスティナここは第一現場真実を突き
Come
止め
on,
ないと
Chris. This is a primary crime scene. You have to investigate the truth.
自分で
You must
証
Prove
明
it.
しないと
yourself. Yep, it was attacked. Not surprised. The fifth scene. Huh. Hush United Liquor Organization elected and Paradisos. I can't find any more information about it. Shalom seems to be the leader. Are they executing Shalom's order? Further investigation is needed. I must find out why this squad exists in the first place and Shalom's purpose. The fifth scene. Ooh, this is exciting. Let's go.
僕には
I imagine the battle between Shalom and Kokelek will be resolved in part 4. 4:35 p.m. August 24th, Nightfall 113. Crime scene of the garden incident. The once warm and elegant garden now has been completely destroyed by violence. The scene is in chaos, with traces of weapons sweeping every corner like violent storm. The air is filled with sweet smell of coagulated blood, mixed with the dry scent of withered petals, enveloping her in ominous atmosphere. 6 weapons. Several weapons are haphazardly stuck in the table in the center of the hall. They all look like standard equipment from the garden. Perhaps they tried to get their weapons, but they were easily defeated. Beneath the blade, Christina sees a torn piece of paper. Several weapons. Okay, yeah. Torn blood. The elegant screen has been completely torn apart by bullets. The delicate silk surface stained with blood splatters from bullet wounds. Not far away, the gauze curtains and walls still bear the remnants of the dark bullet holes and the dried blood. There are many guards surrounding her from all directions, and in an instant carried out an execution. Christina covers her mouth and nose with her hand, not letting her state interfere with the investigation. She couldn't put up a fight. Under countless bullets, the victims were already flying backwards the moment she was hit. Christina lowers her head, inspecting the traces on the ground. Amidst the abundant flower petals on the ground, Christina finds a torn piece of paper. A note found at the crime scene, which was crumpled and shredded and then blown into a corner by wind. Judging by the size, it should be a third of the whole piece. There's more of these here. Okay. A red handprint is stamped on the corner of the scroll. The fingers are trails weakly dragged downward, leaving a few dark tear-like marks on the white paper. In the chaos and the dark red traces below the scroll, Christina finds something potentially useful, a torn piece of paper. Fred knows, yeah. Then she steps back, taking everything before her. The handprint on the scroll indicates the victim was severely injured, so much so that she couldn't even stand and needed to lean against the wall. As an assassin, she exposed her back to enemy. She must have given up, and the enemy No, this isn't right. A person gave up. Wouldn't struggle to get here. She was trying to grab the weapon under the scroll. But... The victim's weapon had been stuck to the wall like a trophy. Beneath them lies another piece of crap paper. Place pieces together with the first fragment which you collected. It fits perfectly. No, for now. Yeah, that's the only thing I can continue piecing. This piece of paper found in the screen can piece together. Now the writing is legible. Use. 2 pieces of paper come together. On it is a handwriting Christine is all too familiar with. When she saw the first piece, she had guessed, but after really piecing them together, delicate flowers, fragile and easy to break, are perfect abnorments for our banquet. Welcome. Yeah. Delicate flowers, fragile and easy to break, all are perfect abnormants for a banquet. Welcome. There is no blue rain inside the room, but she can't think straight under the effect of mania. Christina wants to continue investigating, but she stumbles and falls to the ground right next to the dried blood stains, which further intensifies her stress response. Eliminate all impossibilities and whatever remains, however impossible, must be truth. The detective can't refuse the truth. She gasps for breath, struggling to open her eyes. Looking at the scattered petals before her, she keeps trembling. Her vision blurs and sharpens. However, the scattered petals become clearer and clearer before her eyes. These are petals that were devastated, along with all the lives of the garden sinners when the incident happened, trampled in this room along with their splattered blood. Christina looks at the petals, her eyes widening more and more until she finally grabs them fiercely in her hand. But not all have been eliminated. She gets up, unfolding the crumpled petal in her palm. The petals are full of wrinkles but very clean. It fell on the top of the large dried blood stain, yet it doesn't have any trace of it. The truth lies in the details. She lifts her head to look around the conscious mess. Her massive blood stains and the reckless signs of destructions. It's as if they're highlighting something, but also hiding something. Christina stands up. And I haven't understood everything. Yep, the truth of the case. Petals full of pile up a scene that will likely blown by the country yard in the window. Petals in the country yard are blown into the hall by the wind, piling up a layer upon layer. Christina picks up a petal and compares it to the ones she held in her hand. The petals on the tatami mat are drier. They do seem to come from the vase on the table. It's normal for the petals in the courtyard to have no blood stains, as they were blown into the room by the wind after the massacre. But why there are petals that fell from the vase? Why are the petals that fell from the vase also clean? They should have scattered at the scene during the fight, or shortly after the fight ended. Yeah. Good Lord Kokulik. She prepared a broken vase lying on the ground that seemed to have rolled off the table during the fight. I think this is staged. The vase is filled with the fresh flowers is shattered on the ground, broken into countless fragments. Christina carefully picks up pieces one by one and examines both sides of the fragments. The flower vase is thoroughly shattered, judging from the falling position. It's rolled out of the nearby table. There is not much blood on the fragments, and most of it is concentrated on the front side of the fragments. Christina looks at the bloodstains on the tatami mat, contemplating with the clean petals in her hand. The petals on the tatami mat are almost half dry, when they weren't blown here after the fight, but fell from the vase on the table. These petals possibly hide a truth, but she needs more clues for comparison. Incense burner. If the mentor sees this, she would certainly believe a massacre has occurred at this scene. But is this really the case? Christina observes the incense burner casually thrown on the tatami mat. The extinguished incense and ash scattered on the tatami. No, this was not orchestrated by Kokulik. This was orchestrated by Shalom. This is a very staged massacre piece, something for Kokilik left to find on purpose. I see now. I was wrong with my first guess. Christina observes the incense burn and casually thrown on the tatami mat, the extinguished incense and ash scattered on the tatami. Judging from the remaining length of the incense, it seems to have been extinguished shortly after being lit. The people of the garden lit this incense, and the next moment the fight broke out, and the incense burner fell to the ground. The fight and the falling of the incense burner happened at the same moment, but there's no blood on the incense burner. After checking all the traces and leaving the crime scene, Christina feels tired, but also minds is no longer in the muddle. All the inconsistent details, contradictory discrepancies, and absurd yet unignorable possibilities I'll eventually point to one person. Shalom, if this is all you're doing, then what exactly do you want to do? You seem a bit confused. Do you want to initiate a scan? Oh, there's no voice lines for some reason. The scan is complete and Paradise has also made overall assessment of your plan. Although the measures you had planned to take are strange, they are indeed reasonable and meet the task requirements. Whether Kokilik steps into your trap or not, her life is already at its end. The garden no longer poses any threat, and you found the best way to evade the underground surveillance and retrieve Shepard 13. Your plan is reliable. Really? You seem a bit different than usual. I thought I might have made a mistake and was about to be inspected. At first, our risk assessment of you was very high. We thought you would trigger an alarm quickly and then be immediately destroyed, but that didn't happen. We've always been by your side, and it's very clear the plans you've given within the limited time we have always been reliable. Paradises trust you. The underground is wary of you, and those dissenters are under your control. You are the most perfect and most suited Hush. 9 years is too short a time. We regret having to decommission and destroy you like this. It's going to be hard to find a suitable candidates like you in the future. If only we have the cloning technology, Paradises could have cloned countless versions of you and maintained the efficient operation of Hush. Shalom laughs. Bodies can be cloned, but minds experience can't. You're affected by emotions too, aren't you? And besides, the work isn't finished yet. Don't be in a hurry to say goodbye to me. There is one last step. She fiddles with secret letters in her hand. It's a collection of secret letters sent to her daily by underground spies. Keep the Hush alive, and she'll come back and deal with the garden. This is the strategy thought out by the underground. They bided Hush X with the garden and let her force the mentor into a dead end. Hush naturally sees this opportunity to look for the shepherd that Paradises needs. The mentor would be a significant threat. Now at last, everything is settled. The primary plan and the backup plan are all in place. The final task within X term is finally arranged properly. It's tough for someone caught in the middle to find peace, Kokilik. I know you tried your best. As years ends nears, vast and wide, over dried wells, Alod's tried. Come, reap your real target, not the decaying charity foundation, not the AVC commander-in-chief. Come and find me, mentor. You won't disappoint me. Yep. Yep, that was the real target all along. Endgame. Garage base have been wrecked. Signs of destruction everywhere. The building, your tools, and the pool have been suffered damage. Who did all this? The Hush unit completely cleared the garden members in their secret base, and Shalom left a note at the scene. Kokilik then arrived at the scene. Kokilik was very irritated. After instructing the Hush the unit to destroy the garden, Shalom left a prophetic letter at the scene to Kokilik. As for why she did this, may forever remain a mystery. Yep. Yep. This letter made by Shalom. Okay. This is the stop of the second recording. I will continue in the next episode with the final parts of the Flora unfurl, the end game. This has been fun so far. I am definitely enjoying myself much more than I thought it would be. I am recording this and gameplay, and I'm recording this entire event because I feel like this will be integral to understanding the overarching plot when the episode 13 rolls around, and when me and Neptune actually catch up to the episode 13 whenever it comes out, 13, 14, whatever. Because this Brain Burst and Flora and unfurl will have a lot of context that would have been missing for me if I didn't do this back then. Which honestly I started at the perfect time. I will rewatch these episodes after we clear episode 12, just in case. There's also the Shalom's interrogation, which I'll be having to do. I will do. I was told that the 1 through 3 takes place in the after episode 9, so I'll do that after episode 9, and then 4th segment takes place after episode 12, in which case I will do it after we reach episode 12, effectively. That's the plan so far. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Toodles!